Previously on AMC's The Media Whiz.
Swiggo, we must cook. Meth. Aw, hell yeah! Didn't you used to wear sunglasses? I wore those glasses because I was blind. I got eye surgery. Oh. Huh.
And now back to The Media Whiz, only on AMC.
Okay, kid. Me and the future kid have been talking, and we decided that one of us has to talk to you, and so it landed on me. So, come on. Is there anything you want to talk to old 30s man about? Good talk, kid. Good talk. 30s man, do you know why I critique? Because you wanted that internet fame that you always talk about? No. The reason I started reviewing is because I thought it would be fun to express my opinions on things like movies, comics, fan fiction, internet media, and so much more. And then there's crap that's even worse than that. Crap that goes to the bottom of the barrel, and then just digs a little bit deeper, just so it can get even more below bottom of the barrel. Crap that's worse than crap like Disaster Movie. Oh, come on, what could possibly be worse than that? What could possibly be worse than Disaster Movie? Movie 43. Damn it, kids, speak up, I can't hear you. Movie 43!
So, what do you say? I don't know, talking some crap about some movie, I don't know what it's called, like Movie 43 or something? Movie 43? Yeah, that's what it was called. The movie that's even worse than Disaster Movie? That's what the kids said. Oh my god. You know what? That movie is so bad. I think it actually might take Wiz out of this whole funk and actually get him back into reviewing. How do you figure? Well, come on. Come with me.
Wiz, you have to do this one request, alright? You do this one request review, and then you don't have to do a single video ever again. It's Movie 43, isn't it? Yeah, it is Movie 43, but listen, like I said, just this one request, and then you can stop. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to do any more videos ever again. I promise. Okay, deal, fine. Movie 43 is worse than Disaster Movie. Let's just get it over with. Movie 43 is an R-rated anthology comedy made by the Farrelly brothers, the same guys that made Dumb and Dumber and Something About Mary. I mean, say what you want about some of their later films like Hall Pass or The Heartbreak Kid, I think that they still can be funny, seeing how I'm one of the few people that enjoyed their Three Stooges movie. As for this film, it started production in 2010, but due to the overwhelmingly large cast, it took over 3 years for them to actually get the film released. Oh, and remember the overwhelmingly large cast, because, my god, they have a cast even bigger than the cast of New Year's Eve. But with a big cast and acclaimed directors, you'd think it would be really good. Wrong-o! The movie was met with tons of scathing reviews from critics, some calling it the Citizen Kane of awful. How so? Let's find out. This is Movie 43. Now, for the sake of this review, we're going to be skipping the framing devices, seeing how there's actually two alternate versions. In the US version, it features Dennis Quaid pitching a bunch of movie ideas to Greg Kinnear, who's playing a movie producer. That one's terrible, but in the UK version, it's about a group of dumb teenagers trying to find the supposed worst movie ever made, that being titled Movie 43. Give the UK version some credit, they at least know this movie sucks. But let's begin with the first sketch.
Probably got one of those awkward character faces that sort of really has to grow on you, right?
Mr. Character Face is on the cover of Gotham magazine.
Kate Winslet and Hugh Jackman are in a sketch together, going on a blind date. All seems fine and good, until you find out what Hugh Jackman's catch is.
100% Pashmir. Well, at least that's what the guy in the street
Come
told
on,
me.
then. Wow, that is soft. Well, you know,
Yep. He has a ball sack on his throat. That is the joke. It's Hugh Jackman who has balls on his throat. Did I mention that he did Les Miserables before this movie was released?
How embarrassing!
And that's really it. The Wolverine has balls on his throat. Oh, they try to add some jokes into it, like he has pube hair land in his soup, he jiggles the balls around, whatever the hell this is. A couple he knows comes over with a baby, and his balls land on the baby's head.
I feel the need to point out that that baby's probably going to grow up hating his family since they put him in movie 43.
And the weirdest thing out of all this is that no one but Kate Winslet seems to be able to see these balls.
Why? I mean, do they know him better and they're comfortable with him having a ball sack on his throat? Or do they just not see it? Or...
And then the sketch ends with the two of them being told to kiss for a photo, but Kate can't take her eyes off of Hugh's throat balls.
That entire sketch was nothing but one joke, that Hugh Jackman has balls on his throat. There's only one joke that I can think of to rebuttal that.
That's the guy whose chin looks like a balls.
As we cut to the next sketch, Naomi Watts and Lieb Schreiber, who are talking to a couple of new neighbors and telling how they homeschool their son.
But don't you ever feel like maybe he's, I don't know, missing out?
Yeah, high school is about more than just classes and homework.
Absolutely. There's the alienation, the loneliness.
It should be the unhappiest time in a boy's life.
And they humiliate him by calling him names, not letting him in during a house party.
The girl you asked out before, it's gonna be awkward.
They do this to him.
She's dead the fuck! Whoa, you've got weird pubes. Hey guys, come check out this kid's weird pubes!
And then, incest.
Do you have protection?
If I did like guys, you'd totally be the kind of guy that I'd like.
Child Protective Services? Yeah. Verbal and physical harassment. They are also sexually throwing themselves onto the child. Yeah. Yeah, they are also his biological birth parents. Yes.
And the sketch ends with this.
Jen, my mom says hi.
Hello, Jen.
Hello, Mrs. Miller. I'm the pretty girl. She is.
So the punchline is that he's psychologically scarred. Comedy?
The next sketch has Chris Pratt
Well, at least he improved his career with Jurassic World and Guardians of the Galaxy.
and Anna Faris.
You might notice that there's a stunning amount of Hollywood couples in this movie. Well, keep that in the back of your mind, because we'll get to that later.
Anyway, Chris wants to propose to Anna, but Anna has something else in mind.
Will you poop on me?
Oh my god, this movie's turning into Two Girls, One Cup! Ah!
Thankfully, it is not, as Chris talks to a couple of his buddies at a barbecue, which, by the way this is filmed kind of looks like a beer commercial, as they convince him that he actually should do it.
Shitting is something you do on a whore. Right? Pooping is a gift you give to your soulmate.
Okay, that was taken straight from Not Another Teen Movie.
Okay, that was a straight up steal from Don't Mess with the Zohan. Huh. Deja vu.
But Chris is actually convinced, as that night he wolfs down Mexican food and an extra measure as he chugs down some Turbolax.
And now they're ripping off Dumb and Dumber. You know, their first movie.
But Chris can't hold it in as he says the wrong thing. Anna runs out in a huff, Chris runs out chasing her, and...
Julie, come back! Oh, baby, please! I love you. I want to marry you.
That's just disgusting.
The next one we get takes place in a grocery store with Kevin McAllister's brother himself, Kieran Culkin.
And people said that Scott Pilgrim was the worst movie he was in.
And he's visited by his ex-girlfriend, Emma Stone.
Him and her together? Movie, I don't want to sound rude, but, he's completely out of her league. I'd rather watch that than watch this dumbass movie.
Anyway, they start yelling at each other, and then this happens.
I want to be.
I repeat, I check on VegiClean. Aisle 5, that's VegiClean.
And everyone else can hear them, and they're getting all hot and bothered about it, but Emma leaves in a huff, and the rest of the customers tell Kieran that he should chase after her, as they'll take care of his counter shift.
Despite the fact those people may not know how to work a counter, but regardless.
Get the next sketch, which I actually can't show you because I don't know how to edit censor bars yet, but here's what it is. The iBabe. The entire joke is that it's a naked woman with a UPS wheel. Which, while we're on that, we might as well talk about the follow-up sketch about the iBabe. The sketch shows the company responsible,
Apple?
featuring Richard Gere, the Southern guy from 30s Rock, and Asif Manvi from The Daily Show, talking about the one major problem with the iBabe.
A certain percentage of our younger demographic are sticking there you know what, in the vent.
No, I don't know what.
Do they have to be more straightforward? I mean, it's pretty straightforward what they're saying.
And their solution? Put barbed wire around the fan area.
Or, you could just simply go buy an iPhone or an iPod like a normal person.
The next sketch is called Superhero Speed Dating, and it has Justin Long as Robin. Well, unlike the online sketch, this one isn't funny. So, Robin is trying to speed date until Batman, played by Jason Sudeikis?
Oh, Jason, I like you. You're funny.
Anyway, Batman shows up and C-blocks Robin by saying that he wears tights and that his first name is Dick.
And I'm Dick.
Basically, every joke we've made about Robin for the past few years.
So, as the speed dating continues, Robin meets up with Lois Lane, who talks about how Superman is abusive to anyone that tries to make a move on her, and Batman makes things worse by calling Superman up. And Supes, played by Bobby Cannavale, threatens Robin.
Superman, you don't understand. I'm not here to hit on your girlfriend. That's crazy. Batman and I are undercover and we're looking for a bomb.
Bomb? I don't give two super shits about a bomb.
As long as I'm balls deep in Lois.
So the joke is that Superman puts his super spunk in his hair. Again, I feel free to mention that these are the guys that did something about Mary.
So when you say, killer, you mean...
He's a murderer. Yeah.
like an actual convicted murderer?
He killed people.
Stop ripping yourselves off! Stop it!
Anyway, Batman decides to speed this thing along as he tells Robin what to say.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get underneath the table, hide down there, and feed you lines to help bag this next gal.
If I like Cyrano de Bergerac.
I don't know what that is. It's more like Roxanne. Dude, I can see her snatch.
Dude, I can snap.
Oh my god. I can't believe the size of this thing. It's like a giant fucking cornfield. It's enormous down here. It's crazy. Look at that. I feel like at any moment Shoeless Joe Jackson could walk out of it and I could play catch with him.
This isn't funny!
But with all that done, the two finally come across the Penguin, played by John Hodgman.
John Hodgman? The PC guy from the Mac and PC commercials? And Justin Long's in the same sketch. Huh.
Also, I know it's a little random to point this out, but do these costumes look like porno outfits? I don't know, maybe it's just me. Anyway, Robin beats the Penguin and saves Supergirl. But this happens!
She was a fake. Bush that size is only good for one thing, and that one thing is hiding a wang, you know what I'm saying? Wait, let me get this straight. So you knew all the way back then, you knew that she was a dude? Whole time. Why'd you make me kiss her? Him. This. I don't know. I guess I woke up this morning with a little case of the fuck-arounds.
Kinda funny, but not.
Then we get a commercial, parodying those sad commercials with a bunch of crying children, but instead it's a PSA about not being abusive to machines.
And honestly, it's the best sketch so far.
So far, this sketch is original, not overly vulgar, and actually has some pretty witty satire, lampooning those sad commercials, but instead of making it people who hit kids, it's that they hit their machines.
Say goodbye to the only good sketch in the movie. It will be missed.
The next sketch has Hit Girl and the kid from Shorts on a date, as they're being mocked by Shorts' kid's older brother, McLovin. But, well, just watch.
I really need to go.
Hey, lovebirds are helping up. Holy shit, you are covered in blood. Oh my god.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh
my god! You must have sat on a nail or something.
Wait, she's having a period.
Oh my god!
That's horrible. I mean, okay, like, I'm all for making jokes about things, like, no matter how offensive they might be to some, but damn!
And if you think that boys that don't know about how periods work is bad, well, we see grown-ass men who don't know how periods work.
Sorry about all that. Hey, honey, don't sit in the car!
Vagina is way too complicated.
Yeah, no shit.
Really? Oh, Dad, that was epic.
And now you're ripping off a joke from South Park.